Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Breaking. Vandals hit Lago today. Police on scene. Since President Trump has been in office, the left has been in an uproar and doing their best to create as much civil unrest as possible. These angry leftists in their rage over the fact that Trump trounced Hillary in the 2016 presidential election have been fanning the flames of division in our country and promoting violence against the president. Over the last year, several liberal Democrat politicians and unhinged Hillary Clinton fanatics have made explicit death threats against President Trump, which has kept the Secret Service on high alert. Now, over this holiday weekend, President Trump and his family had an urgent situation unfold that had the police rushing to the scene, and has everyone wondering when the violence will end? There was a time in our nation's history that no matter who won the presidential election, the American people and the loser of the election would band together behind the elected president for the good of the nation. However, those days seem far behind after the last 8 years of Barack Obama and his divisive nature that has thrust our country into constant turmoil. Now, instead of those in the Democrat Party cheering on President Trump to ensure that he does a job well done for the American people, they have been actively doing their best to sabotage his presidency. For instance, over the last year, the left has been doing whatever they can to oust Trump from office with their phony Russian collusion story, and since that has not worked the way they had hoped, they are turning to threats of physical violence. Threats of violence toward President Trump is not anything new in this brave new world of politics. In fact, just earlier last month, Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi promoted acts of violence against Trump during a town hall meeting he attended. Then last year, Missouri Democratic State Senator Maria Chappelle-Nadal posted on Facebook that she hoped that President Trump was assassinated. Are you starting to notice a pattern here? So, it should come as no surprise that civilians in the country would attack Trump, his family, and now his property, which is what happened over the weekend at his Mar-a-Lago resort. Here is more from Local 10 News. Someone in West Palm Beach, Florida, took the term "paint the town red" a bit too literal on Saturday night. The entrance to Trump International Golf Club, the president's course du jour while at the so-called Winter White House in Mar-a-Lago, had new decoration on Saturday evening in the form of red paint splattered all over one of the entrance signs. The red paint was tossed haphazardly on the left entrance with a can of paint visible on the ground. It's unclear exactly when the vandalism happened. 2 vans from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department were on scene investigating the apparent vandalism Saturday at about 10 p.m. Neither the U.S. Secret Service nor the Sheriff's Department responded to inquiries from ABC News Saturday night. Donald Trump spent Saturday at Trump International Golf Club, according to the Tampa Bay Times, though it's not clear if he was on the course. Trump was at the club on Friday as well. The president is usually secretive about whether he actually hits the links or not. Fox News host Sean Hannity and PGA golfer Dustin Johnson spent time with Trump at the golf club on Saturday as well, according to Palm Beach Post reporter George Bennett. Donald Trump Jr. shared a photo on Instagram of his daughter Kai with Johnson, the current world #1 player, and 2016 U.S. Opener winner, on the course. It's not clear whether any of the Trumps were at the club when the vandalism occurred. Trump opened the golf club in 1999, the first of what is now many courses in his portfolio. According to ABC News analysis of public records of Trump's schedule, the president spent 109 days at one of his properties in his first year in office. The president's Mar-a-Lago estate is just a 15-minute drive from Trump International. Now, while this attack on Trump's property is disgusting, it is not the first time it has been done. Earlier last year, another of Trump's hotels were vandalized when a light was projected onto the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., several anti-Trump messages. Here is more from Business Insider. Several messages were displayed in a bluish light. The Washington Post reported that the words "Pay Trump bribes here" appeared above the entrance to the building, along with an arrow pointing toward the entrance of the hotel. Another projection read, "Emoluments welcome," an apparent reference to the emoluments clause that became a point of contention amid arguments about Trump's financial conflicts of interest in the early days of his presidency. The emoluments message was displayed over a backdrop of Turkey's flag. Whether or not you agree with the president in office, there is a proper way to air your grievances, but to destroy private property is not the way. One can only hope that the people who did this to Trump's resort will be found and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law to send a clear message to others who may think this behavior is acceptable when it most certainly isn't. HT, ABC News Go. Breaking: President Trump is pissed off. Gives Dems nasty Easter surprise. Reports have come out that a virtual caravan carrying more than 1,000 people from Central America is traveling straight through Mexico and headed to the United States to enter a country illegally or by asking for asylum. Okay, it's time to drop the hammer down, and I mean now. This is an emergency and all available Americans, including citizens, need to go to the border and stop these illegals from crossing the border. Upon hearing about this caravan marching to come to the U.S. for free shit, President Trump did not hide his anger. President Trump angrily said on Sunday the deal for the Obama-era DACA program was no more and demanded tough immigration reform, Fox News reports. Trump, who has vowed to end catch and release, tweeted Sunday morning that Republicans need to take the nuclear option when passing tougher immigration laws. The president had given Congress 6 months to pass legislation enshrining the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals Program, DACA, which protects about 800,000 young immigrants brought to country illegally as children from deportation. Border Patrol agents are not allowed to properly do their job at the border because of ridiculous liberal, Democrat, laws like catch and release. Getting more dangerous. Caravans coming. Republicans must go to nuclear option to pass tough laws now. No more DACA deal. The president tweeted. The caravan the president was likely referring to was first reported by BuzzFeed News on Friday. Organized by Pueblos Sin Fronteras, or People Without Borders, the caravan traveled through Mexico without authorization last week, according to the report. Officials in Mexico have not attempted to stop the migrants, about 80% of them from Honduras. The group's intent is to provide those people a safe way to travel to the U.S. Mexico is doing very little, if not nothing, at stopping people from flowing into Mexico through their southern border, and then into the U.S. They laugh at our dumb immigration laws. They must stop the big drug and people flows, or I will stop their cash cow, NAFTA. Need wall. These big flows of people are all trying to take advantage of DACA. They want in on the act. The warning shots have been fired. Thousands are headed here right now, and our border control needs to be backed by the National Guard, ICE, LEO and American citizen militia if necessary. This ends now. F DACA and F amnesty. This is war. God bless. Boom. Top scientists prove something about illegal aliens that destroys liberal narrative. Spread this everywhere. Washington, a new report by the Center for Immigration Studies finds that the average cost of a deportation is much smaller than the net fiscal drain created by the average illegal immigrant. This finding refutes the claim made by immigration enforcement opponents that deporting illegal immigrants is prohibitively expensive, thus requiring amnesty for the population of over 11 million. By analyzing immigration and custom enforcement, ICE, cost estimates for the average deportation and comparing it to the lifetime fiscal impact of the average illegal immigrant, the report concludes that deportation is much less costly than allowing illegal immigrants to stay in the country. Dr. Stephen Camarota, the center's director of research and lead author of the report, emphasizes the role education plays, because the overwhelming share of illegal immigrants residing in the country have not completed high school or have only a high school education. It would require highly implausible assumptions to avoid a substantial net fiscal drain from this population. Deportation costs. In April of this year, ICE reported that the average cost of a deportation, also referred to as a removal, was $10,854 in fee 2016, including apprehension, detention, and processing. Partly due to policies adopted in the second term of the Obama administration, ICE removed nearly 170,000 fewer aliens in 2016 than in 2012, even though it actually spent 8% more in 2016 in inflation-adjusted dollars. The removal of so many more illegal immigrants in fee 2012 means that the average cost per removal in that year was $5,915, adjusted for inflation. If the average cost of a deportation was what it had been in fee 2012, then the larger enforcement budget in fee 2016 would have allowed for 200,000 more removals without spending additional money. Costs of illegal immigrants. Researchers agree that illegal immigrants overwhelmingly have modest levels of education. Most have not completed high school or have only a high school education. There is also agreement that immigrants with this level of education are a significant net fiscal drain, creating more in costs for government than they pay in taxes. The National Academies of Sciences estimated the lifetime fiscal impact, taxes paid minus services used, of immigrants based on their educational attainment. Averaging those estimates and applying them to the education level of illegal immigrants shows a net fiscal drain of $65,292 per illegal, excluding any costs for their children. Based on this estimate, there is a total lifetime fiscal drain of $746.3 billion. This assumes 11.43 million illegal immigrants are in the country, based on the U.S. government's most recent estimate. The fiscal cost created by illegal immigrants of $746.3 billion compares to total cost of deportation of $124.1 billion, assuming a fee 2016 cost per deportation, or $67.6 billion using fee 2012 deportation costs. Lifetime fiscal drain on taxpayers is at least 6 times greater than cost of deportation period. 2017 marked a successful year in border security efforts, reducing illegal cross-border migration, increasing interior enforcement, and dismantling transnational criminal enterprises. Multiple challenges still remain in providing immigration officials with the tools needed to keep criminals off the streets, eliminate the pull factors for illegal immigration, and remove illegal aliens from the country. The fiscal year 2017 ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Report provides an overview of ICE fiscal year, fee, 2017 civil immigration enforcement and removal operations. Report crimes, email or call 1-866-DHS2-ICE. #deport. #MAGA. God bless.